SEK-Surebond, the premier manufacturer of polymeric sand for the hardscape industry, introduces its 2015 performance test results versus the top Canadian competitors. Hardscape experts know that the most important measure of assessing polymeric sand performance is cohesive strength between the sand particles. Simply put, the ability of the sand particles to remain bonded to one another while forces try to pull them apart, that is cohesion. Adhesion and setup are important as well. Adhesion is the ability of the polymeric sand to bond to the substrate, and setup is a measure determining the point in time by which polymeric sand has surpassed the cohesion threshold so as not to allow heavy rain or strong wind to move it out of the joint. SEK-Surebond has established a consistent and equitable testing protocol for measuring the cohesion strength of the various brands produced by any polymeric sand manufacturer. SEK-Surebond developed a specially engineered fixture mold that ensures an accurate and repeatable testing of polymer sand cohesive strength by using a consistent, uniform 1/4 inch thick profile of the polymer sand. SEK-Surebond tests all sample materials at the same time for performance comparative purposes. The testing consists of cohesion strength measurements at sample ages of 12, 24, and 36 hours post-activation. Once the various polymer sands are cast into the molds and activated with water, the polymeric sand sample is allowed to cure in a consistent, controlled environment. Cured for the predetermined period of time, the test samples are then hung on a scale. An electrically driven linear actuator is used to generate a uniform, gradually increasing tension load that is applied to the test sample through a series of cables and pulleys. The amount of force being applied to the samples, measured in pounds, is recorded by the scale. The force necessary to snap the test samples will become the core data point when converted to the pounds per square inch of tension the sample can withstand before failure. Multiple samples of each material are cast and the results are averaged over the entire data set. The more load applied to a sample before failure, the higher the cohesive strength of the polymeric sand. Over a period of 4 months, SEK-Surebond has performed numerous tests resulting in a substantial amount of data. We will share our results with you shortly. Again, our testing benchmarks are 12, 24, and 36 hours. The 12-hour benchmark represents setup performance, while the 24 and 36-hour benchmarks would be an indication of long-term polymeric sand performance in the joint. In this video, we will be sharing a visual of a 36-hour test for each brand tested. The brands you will now see tested are PolySweep, manufactured by SEK-Surebond, and 2 of the top Canadian competitors identified as Competitor A and Competitor B. The test breaks shown here are representative of the average maximum loads applied to each product at their 36-hour breaking point. Competitor B at the 36-hour mark since activation. With a break load of 24 pounds, Competitor B's sample yielded a total of 128 pounds per square inch of cohesive strength. Competitor A at the 36-hour mark since activation. Competitor A's sample broke at 44 pounds, resulting in a 36-hour cohesive strength of 235 pounds per square inch. PolySweep at the 36-hour mark since activation. Breaking at 92 pounds, this PolySweep sample withstood the equivalent of 491 pounds per square inch of force before the cohesive bonds in the polymer sand failed. Gross load values for each sample are then converted to pounds per square inch of force required to break each of the polymeric sands tested. The final results are indicated here. You can clearly see that PolySweep is the top performer by a wide margin. PolySweep brand polymeric sand exceeds the cohesive strength of the top Canadian competitor by a significant amount. Also note that PolySweep sets up faster than the competition, as represented by PolySweep's higher 12-hour break strength. Faster, stronger, better. Polymeric sand by SEK-Surebond sets up faster, has the strongest cohesive strengths in the industry today, and is simply better than the competition. That's why top hardscape professionals choose SEK-Surebond brand polymeric sand. For more information on SEK-Surebond's polymeric sand or any hardscape products offered by SEK-Surebond, please call us at 800-932-3343 or visit our website at sek.us.com.